Hi everyone, my name is Barry. Uh, Welcome to the channel. If you've seen the title of the video, you probably know I'm about to talk about anger. I've got several tabs open, full of news articles talking about this stuff. But most importantly of all, um, I feel like it's important that you get a little backstory about me. Um, at the age of 10 or 11, I was diagnosed Asperger's. And around this time is when I started to experience things in my life where I was just very angry as a person, to where my anger controlled me. And the reason why I'm making this video is because I really started to realize what led me down a path where I could not mentally or emotionally be where I was supposed to be when I became an adult. I'm 27 now. And the saddest part is the reason why I'm bringing this video up is because I don't want us to end up in a place where we have a world full of people just like me who don't feel genuine emotion because of overexposure. Some days I feel like a sociopath and it's not good. And this ain't no cry for help. Let's get that out of the way. This is just me talking about how anger affects us. It affects certain corners of the internet. And like I said, we have people genuinely getting angry over stuff that doesn't matter to them. They just want to be angry. But anyway, I was watching Connor McDowell. A video of his came up on my feed about a week ago. It was late in the morning. I was on my phone. And I got this video from Connor McDowell. I have it in a tab. It's called Video Games Are Woke Now, apparently. I'm putting the link in the description. That'll let y'all see the video. And to make a long story short, one of the comments in the video literally says, fun fact, when a person is angry, it releases endorphins in the brain, similar to the rush one might feel from riding roller coasters. So the next time you see someone getting angry over a minor thing, and it seems like they're doing it just because they want to be angry about something, that may be exactly what's happening. They want to be angry. They're literally addicted to it. They are trying to chase that anger high. When I found that comment, I realized several things. I realized that my assumptions about the people who make news content on the internet were true. They want you to be angry because the more angry you are, the more you're in a cycle of hate. There's a reason why they call it an alt-right rabbit hole, because the same dissatisfaction and anger that drives the average person is the same that leads to what we call hate groups. That's literally what has been going on. And the saddest thing is that's how the internet works nowadays. People will grift, people will lie, people will try their best to expose you to the most brazen and asinine takes on the internet just to drive anger. Because they know you'll come back and listen to them. They'll point out something, and at first they sound smart. At first they point out legitimate concerns. But then over time, they start getting crazier and crazier and crazier and crazier. Keep in mind, nobody really watched Captain Marvel, and yet there were thousands upon hundreds of videos being made about that actress every day. Emma Watson ain't that famous. She ain't Taylor Swift. And yet we got people out here making 15 videos a day on her. You expect me to believe that it is that big of a problem? I'm gonna be honest with you. The reason why I'm making this video in the first place is because it clicked to me. And it clicked to me because I almost fell down what we would call the alt-right rabbit hole. I almost fell down it because I was on the internet, chronically online like everyone else. And then I came to the conclusion that half these issues don't affect me. And the other half of these issues are issues that I know the answer to because I have lived these experiences. I've seen it over the course of what, almost 15 years? 15 years, and it never really got into my neck of the woods until like 2012. So about 12 years I've been on this part of the internet, seeing controversy after controversy after controversy after controversy after controversy, only to realize it's always going to be a movement. There's always going to be an outgroup. That outgroup's going to be manipulated by the people who run the outgroup. They're going to sit up here and make them angry. Those angry people are going to affect the internet. And if the internet's going to get wild and say, y'all are stupid, stop being stupid. And then another group's going to come in with a few people who were part of the old group maintaining. There's that's literally what's happened. And it bothers me because it's like, we now have a situation where you have idiots running around just being angry for the sake of being angry. And it's like, okay, now you've gotten yourself into a situation where you no longer have anything to be angry about other than yourself. You choose to be angry. You choose to be angry because you're addicted to it. And like any other drug, keep in mind, it's going to cause problems. And that's not good. But yeah, I got about a couple of articles I want to read to you. Yep, that's one. Let's scroll back up. The physiology of anger. What hormones are involved in anger? All these are going to be in the description, by the way. But it says there's no specific hormone known as the anger hormone. However, certain hormones are associated with anger responses. For example, adrenal glands release adrenaline and noradrenaline in response to stress or perceived threats. These hormones prepare the body for fight or flight response and are associated with increased heart rate, blood pressure, and energy levels. When you become angry, your sympathetic nervous system activates, leading to the release of these two hormones specifically. Further, cortisol levels may rise, contributing to heightened arousal and vigilance during anger episodes. Sigmund Freud would have several things to say about that, especially when you keep in mind that it said heightened arousal and vigilance during episodes. Ladies, if you start to deny a man advances at the bar and he gets angry at you, just know that the highlighted part that I've highlighted on this article may have something to do with that. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientist. I'm just putting it out there. Okay? Like, I'm just putting it out there. Um, Now, this, the rest of this, I'm gonna read it at my own like leisure, but I suggest you also check it out. Um, it's very important, but there's also Psychology Today. Anger's allure. Are you addicted to anger? This is also going to be in like the description. Uh, but it literally reads, anger is a public epidemic in America and is involved in everything from media controversy to road rage to wars to mass shootings, but mass pew-pewings. But aside from the larger toxic scale of this basic human emotion and its connection to violence, anger affects us in our day-to-day personal lives as well. On an intimate scale, everything from workplace frustration to family discord can erupt and contribute to overall stress, anxiety, and depression. Human neurobiology rewards anger. Part of the issue is that anger feels good. It feels like a thing to do. It overrides all over moral and rational breaks. And in the brain, because it originates from our primordial original limbic system, the brain center of our most automatic emotions, like fear and desire, the limbic system has the most direct links to our fight or flight response. And that includes our control over adrenaline rushes, alertness, and other instincts that prime you for battle or rapid escape. Anger is similar to other addictions. What happens is that anger can lead to similar rushes as thrill-seeking activities where danger triggers dopamine reward receptors in the brain, or like other forms of addiction such as gambling, extreme sports, or even drugs like cocaine and methamphetamines. That is very disturbing. And I just took a look at number 3, and it said anger boosts ego fragility. What do you say when you realize that anger is literally what causes people to get upset, to enjoy this? But then you read the article even further, and it says that it's part of the reason why anger boosts ego fragility. I'm honestly, it it disturbs me because that proves two things. That proves that you can be receiving pleasure from the simple concept of anger, which I've been angry so long that anger just physically hurts. Genuine anger upsets me. It brings me to tears of frustration. But then you read this part of the article. Anger boosts ego fragility. There's also the psychological aspect of ego fragility and injury, often seen in narcissistic personalities. The rush behind anger can be triggered by underlying feelings of weakness or insecurity, a way to feel powerful in the moment and overcome those feelings. It also helps people feel briefly in control of things they typically have no control over. Unfortunately, the aftermath reinforces negative consequences that hurt you in the eyes of others. It continues the cycle of insecurity. It becomes a vicious cycle of tantrums and punishment that ultimately hurt the angry individual. Okay. This is. I know some people like that in my life. I ain't gonna say who. I know. This is. Yeah. It's real hard to like give a fuck at this point because it's like you have to ask yourself, what do you do when the only thing that is giving people a reason for existing is hating and being angry at everything? I can't tell you to find another hobby because you'll then get angry about that. But it's also the fact that anger breeds passion and passion breeds anger. So some people, like sports fans, road rage, they tend to get a good kick out of that. And it overall causes problems. And I can't tell you what to feel because I'm not a doctor. I'm not you. But I feel like if I can get this video out and get people to look at it, it'd actually teach people. But I can't tell people how to deal with themselves because this is the internet and people aren't sold on doing what they're told. So I'm gonna just leave it at that.
Let me just go in the bush and weep. Let me just go in the bush and weep. I just have to go in the bush and weep. Really.
I'm gonna just keep the comment section open. I want y'all to govern amongst yourselves, talk it out, maybe spread awareness of this video just so people find out and also contribute to the conversation. And yeah, well, it's your boy Barry Crunch. I'm out. Bye.